Hello students, welcome back. In the last session we have discussed list in XHTML. So there are different types of list, that is the ordered list, unordered list and definition list. We have studied about these three different types of list in the last session. In today's session we will study about tables in XHTML. As we know, many times we display contents in rows and columns. So displaying contents in rows and column will be possible by using what is called as tables. So tables are simply intersection of rows and columns. So how tables can be created in XHTML and how the contents can be displayed in the table format, that is in rows and columns, that we will study today. So let's start. A table is a matrix of cells, each possibly having content. So table, it is you can say matrix of cells, they include content. The cells can include almost any element. The cells in the table, cell you can say it is an intersection of rows and column that creates a cell. In that cell you can add any element, not specifically the text. You can add an image, you can add some other XHTML elements can also be added in a table cell. Some cells have row or column labels and some have data. So even a cell, we can use label cell, that is the main heading cells can be used, and some rows may have data. The table specified as the content of table tag. Now how to create a table? There is a tag with a name as table. So the table always starts with a table tag. The table tag has the attribute is border attribute. This attribute specifies a border between the cells. If the border is set to border, there is an attribute with the name border for a table. So after table we have an attribute border, that is equals to the border width. We have to specify 5 points, 3 points, 4 points, or border can be equals to the value, that is border. Again the value can also be border. If it is set to border, then browser's default width border is used. If it is set to border, then browser's default width border is used for the table. The border attribute can be set to a number as well, as I have said, which will be the border width. So you can set it to 5, 2, 3 or 10. That will be the border width of a table. Without border attribute, the table will have no lines. You can create a table without lines, without those grid lines which are displayed along with the table, by not specifying the border attribute. Tables are given titles. You can give a title to a table as well by using caption, which immediately follow the table tag. It has to be inside the table tag, and that has to be the first tag after the table tag. Caption, that is used to specify the title for your table. Now each row of a table, how to specify rows in a table? Rows are specified with a tag tr, that is table row. Tr stands for table row. Then the heading. Heading cells can be specified by using th tag, that is table heading. Heading for every table can be specified with th. Then we have a tag called as td, which can be used for table data. The actual data will be the content of the tag, that is td. So we have to add the data inside the td tag, whereas heading inside the th tag. Whereas row can be created by using tr tag, and a table is created by using table tag. So there are certain tags which we need to remember in case of table. The important tags here are table, tr, th, td. So these are 4 important tags which you need to remember while creating a table. There are other tags also, like I said, the caption tag and all. Now consider we want to create a table like this. We want to create a table. Okay. So this table has 3 columns, I'll say. This is first name, okay, this is last name, and I'll say this is mobile of a student. So these are my columns, and then we will have some data in this. Okay. Now how to create this table? We have to first start with a table tag. First we have to start with a table tag. So we will start with a table tag. After the table tag, we need the first row. This is our first row. Okay. This row, as we know, can be created by using a tag called as tr tag. Now inside this tr, inside the first row, there are 3 columns, 1, 2, 3, or 3 cells you can say, and all the cells are headings. Okay. So for that you can use a tag that is th, table heading, th. Inside this th you can add the content, like you want to display last name, add it and close th, closing of th. Like this we have to add how many th? One th will add one cell. Like this we have to add 3 th to add 3 cells. So again 2 more th open and close. Once you have all the th, this row completes. After 3 th, this row completes. So close the tr. Tr is opened here. Close the tr. Tr is closed. Then the first row is done. Now the second row. Once you start with the second row, again a new tr. New tr, that is table row, means new row has started. In the new row I need a first cell. Now this is not a heading cell, this is a data cell. So we have to use a tag that is td, table data. So table data, again it will have some content, then close td, first cell is closed. Same way we have to add, we can add any number of table data cells or table datas in this first particular row, and once you are done with that particular row, close the tr. Close the tr. Again if you want to start with a new row, start a tr and add the tds, and lastly you have to close the table tag which is opened at the beginning. So this is how you can create a table. So let us see this with an example. I will create it and we will execute it as well. So I will open Notepad. Okay. I will use the same file. I will just remove the content. You can see this is an HTML document, but all our example in the book are XHTML, but there is no any difference in the output. So I'll use HTML itself to display the table. So if you want to convert this into XHTML, you can add XML declaration, document type, definition, and then you can add XMLNS attribute here. But even if it is okay, it is okay if we use HTML for it. Okay, so table always starts with the tag table. I said table has an attribute called as border. This can be equals to a value that is border. Now, so table starts with the table tag and it is closed with a closing table tag. So, inside this we can create any number of rows and columns. So, to create first row we have to use TR. TR stands for table row. In the first row we have 3 columns, right? We are creating the example which I have shown there, 3 columns. That too, these columns are not data columns, these are headings. So, TH has to be used. First column is, I said, F name, first name, then TH closed, first cell is closed. Second cell, TH L name, that is last name, again closing of TH. Lastly, we have TH, say mobile, close TH. So, we wanted only 3 cells in the first row. So, that is it, close your TR. Okay. Now, we have created a single row, one row we have created. Let us just verify our output, then we will add some more code to it. It is always suggested that you have to always test your program in between, not necessary to write a complete code at once, just write some code and test it, and again add some more code to it and again test it. Okay. So, the file name is list.demo. Actually I have saved in the same earlier file. So, I will just open it, it is in F drive. Okay, this is a file, I will open it by double clicking on it. Now, you can see here the output, it has displayed F name, L name and mobile, and we have only one row which has been created by using TR. Now, inside this we can add the content. This is simply a heading, you can say it has appeared in a bold face. Now, the content can be added by creating one more row into it, TR. Now, this is data, so I will use TD, first name, I will say Ramesh, close TD, last name Patel. Okay. Then the mobile number, and close the TD, and at last close TR. So, the second row has 3 columns containing Ramesh, Patel and the mobile number. Let us save this and again verify the output. Now, you can see the second row has appeared with the content. Like this, we can add any number of rows. You can simply copy and paste and you can change the content of it. You can say Suresh, and so on. You can add any number of rows into it, you can see. So, this is how we can create a table. Okay, if I remove the border attribute, what will happen, let us verify. I have removed the border attribute and you just look at the difference. Now you are having a border around the content. Now we have removed the border attribute. Let me refresh the page. Now you can see you still have content in rows and columns, but those borders are not visible. So if you don't want the border around the content, you can remove the border attribute. But if you want a border, you have to add the border attribute, and you can add the border is equals to border where default border is set. But you want a particular border width, then you can even specify values like 5 pixel. I'll use. Okay, you can see we have a border around it, 5 pixel border. If you still want to increase the border width, you can increase it by increasing this number, say 15. Okay. So like this you can assign a border to the table. Okay, there is one more. I said there is a tag called as caption, even that can be used. So caption can be used to give a title to the table. Say I'll say student information. Caption is closed. Okay. Now you can see it, the heading has appeared at the top, and this has appeared because of the caption tag. So even a caption can be used in a table. You can see the difference between the content of th tag and td tag. The content of th tag, if you look at, it has appeared in boldface, whereas content of td tag has appeared in normal font style. The content of td tag, th tag, always it is center aligned, remember. The content of th, that is table heading, is center aligned, it is bold. Content of td, it is always left aligned, it is not center. You can see there is a space over here, it is left aligned, and it is, the font is regular, it is not bold. So that is the difference between th and td. Okay. So th represents heading, whereas td represents the table data. Okay, now many times even we want to merge some cells. Say I want to merge these two cells into one, a single cell. We do this in Excel. We merge multiple cells into a single cell. So like this, even we can merge a cell here horizontally. Even cells can be merged vertically. If you want to merge cells horizontally, we use call span attribute. Call span to merge cells or columns, you can use call span. There is also row span, where the cells can be merged vertically. Okay. So call span for merging cells horizontally, row span to merge cell vertically. And how it can be done? How to merge these two cells? I want to merge these two cells and I want to name it as full name. Okay. So how it can be done? Go back to the coding. I don't want these two separate cells now, f name and l name. I want both to be a single cell, so I'll remove l name from here, and for this, instead of f name, I'll say full name, and in this th we have to use call span. Call span is equals to how many cells you want to merge and make it a single cell. I want to merge two cells and I want to make it as a single cell. So call span is equals to 2. Okay. So again in this TR, in this row we have 3 cells. First 2 cells are taken by the heading with a content full name, and the last cell it is for mobile number. Okay. So that will display a mobile number. Let us see the output of this. Now you can see these 2 cells have been merged into a single one, and it has a title that is, or the heading that is full name, and we have a mobile as a second cell. So we can merge multiple cells into a single cell by using row span or col span. Now I have used a row span here, but col span here. If you want to merge cells vertically, you can go for row span as well. Okay, let us see how we can use a row span. Say we want to create a table like this. You can see here this first cell spans 2 rows. It takes 2 rows, whereas the second from the second cell it is taking a col span of 3 different columns. So 1, 2 and 3 columns, whereas the first cell it is taking 2 rows. So we have row span here as well as column span. How to create such a table? So I'll show you how to create such a table. So let us create one now. Okay, they will make modification in this table. Okay, I'll remove all the rows from it. So we have a table tag. Inside this table we will create the first row first. We have created the first row. After creating the first row, I'll even declare the closing of first row. First row is closed. Inside this first row, first we need a first cell, and first cell or first column can be created by using TD or TH. I'll use TH. I want a heading there, TH, and the content of it, you can see the content which we wanted was fruits. Okay, the first cell, so it will be fruits. Then close the TH. Now this TH should not take only one cell vertically. This first cell spans 2 rows. So we have to use here row span. So row span, how it can be used? After TH, simply say row span, and how many rows it should take? It should take 2 rows. So specify the value as 2. So the first TH will take 2 rows. Then the second TH, what is the content of second TH? Second TH has the content that is okay, fruit juice drink, you can say, and it is taking 3 columns. Okay, so we have to enter 3 columns there. So let us write it. It is fruit juice drink. Okay, and this should take 3 columns. So we have to use a col span here. Col span is equals to, it is taking 3 columns, so col span is equals to 3. So this is done. The first row is done. We have this much in the first row. So first row is done. Now in the second row, we have contents like apple, orange and screwdriver. The first cell, it is taking, anyways it is taking 2 cells there. Apart from this, we have apple, orange and screwdriver. So let us create a second row. It can be created by using TR. So one more TR I have opened and I am closing the TR. inside this we will be creating table data by using TD. The first TD has a content that is apple, okay. So, I have added only one cell to the second row. Let us verify the output of it. Okay, I will just execute and I will show you the output. I'll double click on this. Now you can see, up till now we have created this much. We have the first row. In this first cell is taking 2 rows and second cell is taking 3 columns, okay. Fruit juice drink, it is taking 3 columns actually. Then in the second row we have added one more data, that is apple. Apart from apple we will be adding some other data also. Okay, so I'll add TD, I'll say orange. Now I'll save it, I'll again execute and I'll show you the output. Now you can see we have apple and orange in the second row. I will add one more to it. Okay, I'll say TD banana, close TD. Now let us verify the output. Okay, you can see we have added 3 columns to the second row, and in this example we have demonstrated both row span and col span. So you can create a table and you can even have row span, col span, even caption for your table. Okay, the align attribute controls the horizontal placement of contents in a table. So we have added contents to the table. The contents are added in TH and TD. We can have certain attributes for this content. The attribute is align attribute. I said by default the alignment of the tag TH or the content of TH tag is center aligned. But if you want the align to be changed, you can change it by using align attribute. Now you can see here this fruit juice drink, it is centered in the cell, but you can make it as left aligned, right aligned, and for that you can use an attribute that is align attribute. This can be used with a value left, right, center. For TH by default it is center, but for TD by default it is left. Align is an attribute of either TR, TH or TD. We can use it with the table rows or table heading or table data elements. There is one more align, that is vertical align, that is V align. So vertical placement of the content can be controlled by using V align. So V align values can be, it can be top, it can be bottom, it can be center, which is by default. V align is an attribute of TH and TD, that is table heading and table data. We can use an attribute that is V align, that is vertical align. Okay, apart from that we have other attributes like cell spacing. This is an attribute of table used to specify the distance between cells in a table. So we have multiple cells in a table and we can increase or decrease the distance between these multiple cells by using cell spacing. So I'll show you what is cell spacing. Okay, so apart from border, I'll add one more attribute, that is cell spacing, and this is equals to, I'll say, some 50 pixels. Okay, I'll save this and let us verify the difference now. So this was our earlier output I have added cell spacing and I am refreshing it. Now you can see the space between the cell. There are multiple cells. This is 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cells, 4, 5. The space between all of this cell have been increased. So if you want to increase the cell spacing, the space between adjacent cells, then you can use cell spacing. If I reduce it, I will make it as say 10, and if I again refresh it, you can see it has been reduced. So cell spacing, it is simply means space between multiple cells. It is called as cell spacing, and it can be increased or decreased by using the attribute, that is cell spacing attribute of table tag. There is one more attribute called as cell padding. Cell padding attribute of table is used to specify the space between the content of a cell and the inner walls of the cell. So there is cell spacing and cell padding, it is important. Cell padding, it is the space between the content and its inner boundary, whereas cell spacing, it is the space between the multiple cells. Now I will use cell padding as well. We will try to understand what is cell padding here. Now cell padding, you can see apple, and there is a border inside which the apple is displayed, and there is no space, or you can say a little space between the content and the border. Suppose I want that space between the content and its inner border, then I can increase it by using cell padding. Now let me add cell padding here. Cell padding is equals to, I will say 10 pixels. Okay, so let us verify the difference. This is our earlier content. Now I will refresh it. Now you can see there is some space between the content and the border. We have increased the space between the content and the border, inner border, by using cell padding. I will increase it again, I will make it as 50. Now you can again see there is more space around the content in a cell now, and that is by using cell padding. Okay, so this is about cell padding. We can even create some sections in the table. So we can have the header, the body, and the footer section in the table, which are the elements of T head specifies the header, T body specifies the body, and T foot specifies the footer. We can for example, suppose this was a table. I will take the other examples. Consider this was a table. So this, as we know, this is the header part of our table, and this part can be included in a tag called as T head, whereas this is the body of our table. This is the body of our table. So this can be included inside a tag, that is T body. If we have some header part also in the table, that can be included inside a tag T footer. So for like this, we can create separate sections in a table. One is the header section, the body section, and the footer section. This will again help us in formatting the table later on by using CSS actually. Okay, that's it about the table. With this, we will stop here today. Thank you.